starting a company, you know, the building blocks, but then comes the hard part, maintaining it.
Yeah.
Maintaining and building your company.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, I'm still at the beginning,
Yeah.
but I'm moving to the next phase.
Right.
So now I have the task to really stay focused. Because now it's getting hard. You need the money.
Yeah.
You need to, you need to maintain yourself and your family and everything else. So now you need to stay focused and keep it going, and that's the hard part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I can say now, you know what? I will work for someone else and I will do some freelance projects on the side. I can do that right now. But I have this vision. So I worked so hard to get to the point where I am now.
Yeah.
It would be a loss of time, energy, a shame, and everything to just let it go.
But you're saying you're just beginning to maintain it, right?
Well,
Although
yeah.
you've been...
I think it takes a few years, just like anything.
Oh, for sure. They
little
say
trial
that
and
often
error.
it takes 5 years before you reap your first successes, whatever
Yeah.
successes may be, because that's also an entirely different definition as
Yeah.
well for everyone, and also what the reality is. Because I think failures are just as much a success as well. Because if it
Yeah.
wasn't for those failures, you wouldn't learn how to improve or how to build from
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
But how are you planning to build? Like, take 2021. What are the focus points for your business this year?
Putting out a few projects and really establish my name.
Yeah.
That's the focus here. Yeah. So and from there I can move to the next step.
And can you give us an idea of how you're going to tackle that? Like, what do you need to put your name out there more? Is that building your network, for example?
No, it's not building my network because I have a good network, but it's like letting people know that, okay, well, because people know Felicity.
Yeah.
And people know that Felicity is this creative, and she could be a creative director or a creative producer for your project. But now I need to take to the next step that it's not Felicity, it's Entitled that will give you
Yeah.
all the goodies.
Felicity
Yeah.
and the team.
Yes.
Me and the team.
And
The
that's
Felicity team.
the next step now, and I need to do that. Well, my strategy is to do that with new projects, coming up projects, and work them out. But also, I find it, and that's all again real talk. I think it's really difficult to make that transition because my biggest struggle is I have all these ideas and amazing concepts.
Tell me about this.
Just like
right
Bethel
here.
Church, you do all these stuff, all these things because you believe in them.
Yeah.
And I believe in the long run, it will give you what you need for your company, for your business. But now I'm struggling with moving it to this idea and getting the money so I can get paid for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And if I can get paid, my business can grow.
So your focus, you would say, is you're having these ideas, you're putting them out there, you're planting the seeds, but what you need is to nurture the financial aspect of it as
right.
well. Yeah.
And I'm still figuring it out, so I can't really tell you
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, it's a balance.
But it's this transition point.
Right. But
Yeah.
what about for you, Lily? As a freelancer, you're all about getting new clients, right? How do you tackle that? Especially in, let's be real, like we said 2020 is canceled, but we're just fresh off of 2020.
It's still
right?
looming over us, the
So-
dark gray cloud.
Right? So how
Yeah.
are you tackling finding new clients in these crazy times, but also in general?
Well, I think one thing I want to really focus on in 2021 is creating passive income. And that's something that I kept wanting to do, put my other side projects out there. And how do I monetize all these other skills that I have?
Yeah.
And I think, again, I'm just one gal. Like I'm just
A one-woman wonder team.
A one-woman wonder team. And I'm just doing the damn thing. Yeah. So sometimes I have to prioritize, like this is a paid project and mama's got to eat.
Yeah.
So I've got to focus on that. And I noticed that in 2020 that I was so focused on trying to get that bread because I needed to survive and the economy was trash that I didn't get to put my energy and my light into those other creative projects, those passive income projects. So I really want to focus on that in the new year. Like for example, I always wanted to make a print store and I've had a lot of people being like, oh, I want to buy these photos from you. They're so cool. We should do something with that. And you keep encouraging me. So it's like, I have to really like make that a goal for Q1, kick it off. It was supposed to be a goal for Q4, actually, like being in ready for the holidays. But then I actually had a lot of paid work. And again, after months of having no invoices, I was like, cool, well, I guess I'll just work for 17 days straight.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a choice. So this year, hopefully there's a little bit more balance and I can focus on getting some passive income. I have a lot of other cool projects. And I would like to do more of this. Like I miss actually being back in front of the camera and having like creative direction over all these different assets of creating something. I love working with teams and I really miss that after this isolation time, but I'm just excited. I feel like now there's sort of like a refreshed thing. We've all been through like a trauma and we're coming out of it. Again, Phoenix rising. I think everybody has like a lot of big energy and is motivated to get going. So I'm excited for what's gonna open up in the new year, and I have some things in the pipeline, but definitely passive income is a goal for me this year. So 2020, like many of you, also taught me that I'll have to learn how to pivot. And one thing I'm figuring out how to do now is how to create passive income streams. So these are new and creative ways of generating revenue through content that I've already created, whether that's photography, blogging, copywriting, putting all of that together and creating something for my audience that will continue to inform, entertain, and inspire them. I hope one of those is good.
So I'm going to stay with you for a second because we're on the topic of negotiation, or no, on the topic of money.
Yikes.
Sorry, I gave a sneak preview of my question, which is negotiation. Because if there's one girl out there that is a negotiation queen, emphasis,
this
queen,
one here.
it is Lily.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot of my negotiation skills from you as well.
Wow.
For sure.
I am like flattered.
Can you give us a little bit of insight on how you tackle negotiation? How do you negotiate your freelancing rate?
Okay, well, I think here's the thing starting out. People ask me this all the time, like, what do I charge? What do I charge? Okay, of course you have so many different skills just in this room, just between the honeys. There are so many different skills, and all of these skills are unique and important and valid and needed to get these different projects going, right? So it is really tough, I understand, to price yourself. But I think the thing, especially as women, we're not encouraged to be loud and demanding. And I am just blessed with a very loud and demanding personality. And people try to insult me and call me bossy and call me outspoken. And I'm like, or also successful and a negotiating baddie. So I don't know. I think for me, it's truly that being here on my own, making a world for myself in another country, like I don't have time to play.
That's it.
And I learned very quickly, like, some of the first freelance projects I took, you think, oh, wow, this number looks so big on an invoice. Well, then you knock 40% off just to go straight to the tax offices. Then you knock off the fact that you got all your normal bills. Then you knock off the fact that you have to do your own marketing, make your own website, promote yourself, go to networking events.
There's so your much. Wi-Fi.
Pay for your Wi-Fi, pay for your computer,
send the
pay
documents.
for the hard drive, pay for the on-site cloud storage. There are so many. By the time I even sit down and I'm like, okay, I will write, there have been so many steps beforehand. And I keep telling people, well, for one, know your value and value yourself.
And add tax.
Ask other friends and add 20%. No, add 20%. Because I always, and like, you know what? Clients will see this, but
tax as VAT. Add tax because you awesome, because you're getting the extra sauce.
Tax it up. Yeah, but it's like,
know your value and add tax is what I say.
Right, and that's the thing. You have to also be willing to, you have to know your worth and be willing to walk away from that. And I have walked away from projects.
I recently did that.
Yeah, because
I can tell you, it feels good.
It feels good, but it's liberating. It's also scary. And especially as women, we are not taught that intrinsically to be loud and proud of what you can do. And I know what I offer. I know what I'm good at. You can look at my portfolio and see it. And it took me a couple years to get this kind of attitude and essence about it. But it's like, you called me. You called me for a reason, and it's because I was recommended to you, or you saw my work, or you saw how successful it was, and I got to be my own hype girl in that moment and be like, you're calling me for a reason. This is how I work. This is how my other clients work. You got to keep it standard. I can't give you 20% off and you 15% off and you 30% off and you a trade. No, this is the rate. what
And
can
you
we
got
do
to
within this
survive.
rate? Yeah, because I still have to work and I still have to eat and live. And people don't
it's
realize the
also-
cost behind it.
Yeah,
The cost behind it is what pushes me
for sure.
because otherwise there's nothing left. And then you're breaking your back over a project.
Yeah.
And passion only gets you so far.
So I had this moment, of being jobless for about 8 months, and then a job came along, and I kind of took that out of desperateness in a sense because I've been out of the game for so long, and they really took advantage of me because they paid me in dollars. I'm going to be really open, like what it was $1,000
Oh,
for my expertise, years and years of experience.
international experience
As well. They pay me $1,000, which in euros is like 700 something or 800 on a good
Yeah.
day of
No.
the
And
index.
it was like
For how much work?
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be part-time, but that quickly, because they saw like all that I could bring to the table,
Yeah, you got that
quickly
good.
became full-time, and that went on for a year until I renegotiated, and I was like, nah, this is not going to cut it. And then in the renegotiation, she was like, okay, we're going to give you this new salary, but you cannot renegotiate for another year.
Oh.
What?
Like, just to like already have that in the clause,
Oh.
kind of. And I just really thought like, yo, like, because of a desperate situation, I guess, you put yourself into a position where you almost forgot your worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a second. I didn't forget my worth
It's
as in what
dangerous.
I could bring to the table, but more so what I deserve to earn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Never doing that
But
again.
that's the thing. And I went through similar experiences like that when I first started freelancing, and I
Yeah.
learned the hard way. And that's why now you guys can tease me, joke like I'm ruthless, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I get
you-
things done. But it's because
you
I
worked
learned
hard
through
to get
those
there.
awful experiences of being like, well, wait, I'm killing myself for this project so y'all can make money.
Yeah.
But then I don't have anything,
Yeah.
and I'm eating ramen, and like everything's
ramen.
all going back
But
to the
that's
tax
why
administration.
This is one of the reasons why I wanted to work towards being really independent.
Yeah.
Because you're working to fill other people's pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing that.
No,
I want to
I'm
be
over. I'm
independent.
done with that, too.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be depending on any other business of course when you're doing business you're having partnerships and everything, but
Yeah.
still I'm not working for the boss's money.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
provide for myself.
Talking about partnerships, because like I said, I totally look up to you when it comes to negotiation. But then
Thank you.
speaking of partnerships, like you said, I definitely look up to you. You are a go-getter when it comes to collaborations and
Yeah.
partnerships. You pick up
Thanks.
the phone, you send that email, you make that happen.
Yeah.
And for our audience, a great way to build your company is to look into these collaborations
Yeah.
and partnerships.
Yeah.
Feliz, what is the secret sauce? What advice do you give
You know,
our listeners?
I think the first thing is I'm not scared. When I'm looking for a collaboration, most of the time it's something a passion project.
Yeah.
Something that I really believe in. We need to make this happen, and it's a natural confidence that I have in that, which makes it easy to call someone because I'm not scared for rejection.
Yeah.
Because even though you will say, you know what, this is not for me, and I will be like, okay, well, that's fine.
You move
I'm
on.
still gonna do this.
Right. Yeah.
So that's, I think a lot of people are scared to build those relationships because one, you don't want to be dependent on a partner. But I firmly believe in collaborating, that it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
You have something that I don't have, but I have something
Yes.
that you don't have.
Yes.
So let's do
Yes.
this together.
That's also
and
the
we'll make it
secret
work.
sauce to
But that's how we
partnerships.
work as well.
Yeah.
We all fill a
Yeah.
special niche, and then we all have overlapping,
Yeah.
amazing experiences together.
Because one thing you should know is that when you're looking for a partnership, you don't necessarily have to look someone that is identical to your business or what you do, but someone that has the same
Vision.
values and visions and wants to grow together with you, and that can fill the gaps for your company that
Yeah.
you might not be able to yourself.
And
so
it's not that you
look
want
at it
to
that
lift
way.
off from someone else.
No way. You
It's
want to build
adding
together.
value. Yeah, I want to build together. Every partnership that I've built is based on building together.
Yeah.
When I eat, you eat. And it's the other way around.
Yeah, and I think something important of that, because we live in now a world, how cool that we're all interconnected and you can so easily find other people that are in your niche or in your industry or someone you need. Like you said, you're building these teams. And I think one thing is people can get really intimidated or feel like, oh, I don't know, they're too big for me to reach out to, or I'm scared to reach out to them, or I don't know. Just reach out, send the email, because every single person you ask is gonna tell you the same thing, or they're lying to your face. We're all faking it till we make it.
Oh yeah,
we all feel imposter syndrome, but we have something to share.
If you have a steady plan, even though you're still a little insecure, you have a steady plan. Just send it out because you have nothing to lose.
You have nothing to lose, and send that email. And I think that same.
Just go for it, baby.
For any kind of connection, just reach out, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram or an email. First off, anybody is flattered to hear that you think they're cool or that you have something to offer.
At the beginning of my career, I was looking for jobs and things to do, but I just came out of Suriname, so I knew I have a story.
Yeah.
And I would meet people. I would send text messages, emails like, hey, I really love what you're doing. This is what I do. This is where I come from. Let's grab a cup of coffee.
Yes.
And let's get to know each other. Who knows, in the future, we can do something together.
And that's exactly what I did here too.
Just go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, so much more amazingness comes out of just going for it and reaching out to someone. And of course, you'll get no's here and there, but that's normal.
And you learn from that.
You learn from that as well. And then sometimes they don't even reply to you at all. That's also a possibility. There is so much strength in asking for help, and there is so much magic that can happen when you collaborate. Just look at Honey Talks. I, put out an ad, so to say, asking for awesome, amazing, badass women to come and create this show with us at House of Notoire. And here we are. You're watching it. You're watching the product of asking for a collaboration. You're seeing me and Lily and Felicity have these great chats, and we made something that we individually wanted to do, and now collectively have created something that we're so incredibly proud of and so excited to create every time and put out there. And on top of that, collaborations in the events and retreats that we do at House of Notoire. I've collaborated with amazing guest speakers and even co-hosts, photographers, all so that we can build together and we can create something even more powerful than when you're doing it alone. And I'm not saying that doing something alone is less powerful, because there's absolutely just as much strength in that as well. Especially if you can do it, honey, if you got it all, if you can do it all, more power to you. But make sure that you're, don't feel that you're in this alone. And also know that, so much beauty can come out of collaborating, and so much amazingness can come out of collaborating. I have the fondest memories of the past collaborations that we've done, and they have, laid the building blocks and foundations for House of Notoire 2021 as you see it, but also for myself as a freelancer and an individual. And on top of that, I'm so excited for all the collaborations to come. I know that this year we got so many amazing things coming up that I can't wait to share with you all. But yeah, collaborate. There's so much strength in that. Do it. Just send that email, send that text, ask a friend of a friend, or, whoever has that contact. Don't be shy to, reach out, because in reaching out, you're also showing up for yourself and, bringing more power and more creativity maybe, or more knowledge to your own dream, and hopefully that dream of another person that you can merge together and just create fireworks.
Well, can I just add one more thing about collaborations? It's not only let's collaborate to make this project or make this show happen. There's also collaboration just as a learning experience. And something I did in 2020, again, my schedule was open all of a sudden. And there were quite a lot, especially with BLM happening suddenly in my industry in advertising. There is, let's just be honest, is a white man's world. And like white men are not the consumers for everything. So brands are finally starting to notice that, hey, we do need some diversity. Like, let's get the brown girl in there. Let's get the American in there. Let's get someone that speaks different languages, someone with other opportunities. So there were suddenly all these great online networking things that were happening, and girl, I was signing up for all of them. Like there were probably a month that all I did was like go on Zoom and join these networking things, and they are kind of awkward, but they introduced me to people that could potentially be mentors. Like they partnered us up, and reaching out is what everybody tells you. Like, how did you meet? Oh yeah, well, I reached out to her.
Yeah.
Find them on LinkedIn. People
There's
pop
so many
up.
purposes
Also,
for collaboration.
We're so well
really
connected now.
important thing is know what you're looking for in the partnership.
Yeah, that's
For
very
example,
important.
when I started working on Black Girl Church, I needed a venue, but I knew I need a venue that has a name in a certain community, or has a certain look to it.
Yeah.
So I was not reaching out to every venue that could show a movie. No, I was looking specific for what are the core values of the partner I'm looking for.
Right.
A niche.
Is that a match? Then I will reach out to them.
Yeah.
And I also think it is important to know what you can offer them in return.
Yes.
Like with House of Notoire, a lot of the people, and I'm so thankful for it, are volunteers. And I said, listen, I can't pay you, but we can collaborate, as in I can offer you my years of expertise, or I can offer you my immense international list of contacts, right? Like I got you. So maybe I cannot offer you a paid collaboration, but I can definitely add value to other aspects that you might need. So collaboration is key, and it's amazing for all round growth.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that in 2020, you took collaboration as a learning curve, to put it that way. And that brings me to the next segment, because we got a couple of questions from the audience.
Okay.
And 2020, well, people, we gotta let 2020 go, okay?
Well, it's
Let it go, honey,
We gotta let 2020 go.
We're good now.
Well, we did get a question about it, because we are still in a pandemic. Let's be real. It wasn't just a story of 2020. We're still in it. And one of the questions was, so we're answering audience questions, ladies and gentlemen. The first one was, did you have a backup plan for moments like this? No one saw this coming.
No, this was an
I think
unprecedented
the
time
backup
of
plan
history.
you can have in general is the savings.
Savings. That's literally
that's
what
number
saved
one.
me.
And
Saved.
I think that's the only thing I can tell you that you should.
Savings saved me.
Yeah. And also, like, for House of Notoire and events and retreats, obviously that was canceled, and we didn't do anything. So no, I did not have a backup plan, but it did make me finally think about a backup plan for moments like this.
Yeah.
And now I'm just thinking, okay, what am I doing in real life that I can't anymore, and how can I adapt that for 2021? So you're probably going to be able to experience the retreats and events again, hopefully in real life.
So.
But if not, we're going to find an alternative to still bring all the things that you love of
but in a
those
different
events,
way.
but in a different way. So think about what you have been doing as well, and see how you can give a different twist to that and still continue your business. So thank you for that question.
And the passive income, what I had
Passive
touched on
income,
earlier, I think
also
that's
very
something,
smart.
and I learned that in 2020 as well.
That's
but, like,
something that I want to learn more about this year. Like, I've thought about it a lot, just as you have.
collab.
Let's collab on it. But I really want to dive into finding out, how can we have a passive income?
Yeah.
And if we have, all our learnings together, we will provide you with the resources.
Yeah.
Don't
Yes,
worry.
exactly.
Don't worry. So the second question is kind of similar to the first. I will still say it either way, which was, how do you stay afloat amidst a pandemic? So we talked about the savings. We talked about adaptability once again. Maybe quickly as a business owner, because it's not only about putting things out there as a business owner, just in general, how do you stay afloat? Maybe that's mentally. How do you stay creative? How do you stay sharp?
Yeah.
I will. This is one answer and one answer only. Make sure your mental health is in check.
Yeah.
And if you notice that it's not, make time to get it in check.
Yeah.
And nothing else matters until you feel steady and grounded again.
So important.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you can run a business if you're on the edge of a breakdown.
No.
no.
And you certainly can't be creative when you like creativity is for me at least completely tied into all the ebb and flow of my body, like also going to the gym, also having good food,
but
my brain and my stomach and my energy and my creativity, they're all combined together.
I don't know if I said it earlier in this episode, but when the pandemic hit in last March, that's the first thing I did. I've noticed, okay, I'm a mess. And I took a break to focus on what was really important. And that was my family at that point, which would give me so much rest. And then in a few days, my creativity would flow
Comes
again.
back. Yeah.
Hey,
Okay, what's the next question?
the next question is, what tips do you have for people trying to find a job in these times?
Oh, well, for
Put
sure,
yourself
like
out
the networking, putting yourself out there.
I would say networking
And
too.
you, even though
Show your
events are
portfolio.
canceled, but events are canceled, but you can still connect online. I think like LinkedIn, also through Instagram. I mean, it depends what sector you're working in.
Yeah.
But there's always something going on. The world didn't completely stop. And this is a good time to refresh your portfolio, refresh your website, refresh your LinkedIn. And you can post on there like, hey, I'm open for work.
Because that's the thing. It's
That's the
also
thing.
as simple as just letting people know I'm available.
I'm available.
Hey, here I am. I'm available. Because I always say, if they don't know, they're not going to provide you anything.
Absolutely.
So just let them know, whether it is within your professional network, but also look at your friends and family. Like, in general, I think you said that before, the world is so small. So just planting that seed out there that you are available or looking for something, you can find a new job in unexpected corners as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be from people in the network of a specific industry that you're looking in, or so put it out there. Ooh, I see us like taking a heavy deep breath because we're like, oh yeah, this has been tough, and it is, and let's see how it develops. But that leads me to the final question that we received from one of our audience members. She said, how do you see work picking up in 2021?
I'm wishing for abundance and
Manifest.
I want to be booked and busy.
Booked and busy for sure.
I honestly don't know how everything will go.
I don't know either.
But I think it's a really good start because my energy is focused on what I want in life and what I want from life.
Yeah.
So I'm putting in the work to achieve that. And that's it.
Yeah.
Building blocks.
Even though the world will shut
Building
down
blocks,
again, I'm focused on what I can do.
Right.
And that's that.
And I think you always had a really strong voice for that, and you cheered me up a couple of times in 2020 because I was unraveling. Like, we've been honest, you can watch the last episodes. Your girl was
You've been
living on the thread.
through it all.
But again, hitting rock bottom for a lot of different experiences in life. Hitting rock bottom or being faced to that, it gives you time to grow and reestablish yourself and figure out a new path. And I think just totally.
No, but it's a lot. Sometimes it's a lot to process. Yeah, but I think the most important thing also is just know that it will pick up.
It will be okay because
you have to put the effort into it, but it will pick up. I know that maybe some of you are still feeling down or not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, as depressing as it sounds, but it will pick up. And we spoke about it so many times. Be able to adapt, be able to look at your surroundings, find ways to keep your creative juices flowing and follow your gut. We've touched on all of those elements, and that stays true for any period of time, but especially in these uncertain times.
Right.
Yeah.
Just know that it will pick up. You do have to put the effort into it, but it's also fine to give yourself a break so you have space to let that energy flow back in for your business.
Yeah, and sometimes just like releasing the stress, whether you need to work out or journal or talk to a friend or
you
cry,
need time to
break down.
recharge and let it go so you're recharged again to move on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, moving on. Moving on. Every so-and-so episode, we had our Honey Hive.
So my honey hype this week is Aurora from the Creative Women Collective. She's been waiting for her shout out, and here she gets it. And the reason I chose Aurora, not because she's amazing,
shout out,
not because she founded Creative Women Collective, which she did both of those things, but because truly, without that network, I would not be here with you ladies today.
Yeah.
Sis,
so
we see you.
I want to send some big ups.
Appreciate
Check
you.
out the Creative Women Collective if you're in Amsterdam, but also it's a great resource for people that are outside of Amsterdam. And I met her back in 2016 when I had just started freelancing. CWC was kicking off. I was like, ooh, Creative Women Collective. This sounds like this could be my girls.
Yeah.
And I went and I was just like, hi, I love you. You're going to be my friend and you'll see. She invited me to join, or via I was
retreat.
invited to join the first retreat for House of
Oh,
Notoire.
that's how you met.
And so then I met
That's how we
Cynthia
met.
in Morocco,
Yeah.
through a retreat, and then in Morocco. And I did the same thing. I was like, hi, I love you, and we're
Yeah.
going to be best friends, and you'll see we're going to do such cool things together. So
And here we are.
It's totally full circle, and I
Yeah.
have to hype my girl Aruda.
You know how crazy it is? I've known Avuda since I was 16 years old.
Yeah,
that's
we went to
wild.
the dance academy
Right, you
together.
guys all had that.
We've had
Yeah.
lives together.
Yeah.
Anyway, definitely the honey hype of the week. But I want to
Definitely.
add someone
Yes,
to
please.
that. And actually, funny thing, Avuda ties into that as well. Before she had Creative Women Collective, I gave her a book from my honey hype.
Oh.
Her name is Phoebe Lovett.
Oh, yeah.
And she has done incredible things, and one of her books was the Working Women's book, which I'm going to highlight in a sec.
Yes.
And she read that before starting CWC, Creative Women Collective, and I believe she said that she also got motivated to do something for women in her community that inspired her to start Creative Women Collective.
And what a whole journey that has been.
What a whole journey that has been. So without further ado, my honey hype
Yes.
for this week is Phoebe Lovett, a woman that I've admired for years. I really have been following this girl for a long ass time. And because she deserves all the praise, I wrote down a little list of all the stuff that she has done.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to miss a beat, because this girl definitely deserves it. For those of you who don't know who Phoebe is a writer, an entrepreneur, I guess, in a sense, but also a moderator from London who works between the UK and New York, the US. I'm sure she's been in LA as well. She's a good friend of Sharma Dean Reed,
who is
also another
absolutely a
woman that
forever honey
definitely
hype.
deserves a honey hype.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've been following for years, and she has such an impressive CV. So I just wanted to quickly do a quick timeline of this girl.
Oh, okay.
Just to show you how
Going
impressive
in.
she is. Yes. I mean, why I relate to her, she started work early like all of us did. And she started it early because she was eager to learn. So she started interning. That's what I did as well. I interned at like Amsterdam Fashion Week and whatnot, just because you want to soak in all the information you can. This girl interned between 2006 and 2009 already. And she's our age, mind you, in the UK and in the US for Elle, GQ, Time Out. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah.
In January 2015, she launched the Working Women's Club, which is a pop-up co-work and event space in downtown LA. And at the same time, she self-published the Handbook for Women Who Do Creative Work. That's the book I gave to Abuda.
Oh, yeah.
In 2016, she spent most of the year producing content and events for the WW Club. And she hosted that in London, New York, Los Angeles, Paris. I mean, she really took over the world by storm. Then she got profiled in Vogue. She got profiled in Refinery and in Refinery 29 and Glamour US. And then in 2017, just a year after publishing her first book, she published another Working Woman's Handbook, Ideas, Insights, and Inspiration for the Successful Creative Career. I'm going to give you that book to read too.
I actually haven't read that one.
She is amazing. And if that was an extended version of her self-published book.
Wow.
And then in 2019, she also introduced or launched the Intellectual Property, which is a multimedia platform offering a new model for creative discourse and self-education. And in 2020, she continued to do more amazing stuff.
But she's like on a roll.
That is
She's
next
amazing.
level honey hype. That was
She-
a solid honey hype.
Yeah, that's why I had to read. I mean, I still have more, but then I was like, this is so
It's
much.
so much, but you made your point.
Yeah.
I made my
She a baddie.
This woman
Yeah.
is so impressive. And just the final book, which I actually have with me, and now I can't grab it because then I have to get offset. But it was titled, because I don't want to get it wrong, Worth Ethics, 2020 Ideas for 2020 and Beyond.
Oh, I'm into that.
Such a
Oh,
good
I would
book.
read it.
It's
Book
concise.
club.
It's
Add it to
really
our book
short.
club.
Yeah, we'll add it to
This whole episode gave me so much energy to like,
Yes.
okay, let's get
I
this
know.
here.
So that's what I'm saying.
2021.
Like a honey hive, we have so many inspiring women hustlers
Yeah, but
around us.
It's so
Yes.
beautiful that you guys highlighted Aurora, but that's when I thought about this episode and who the honey hive should be. I was like, my girls.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
I look up, when not when I look up to you, but when I look at you.
Yeah.
But also like, well, you girls, but also Candy, my girl from Blanche.
Yes, Candy.
Yeah.
I admire your work
Yeah.
and how you, because we all do the same thing but different.
Yeah.
And there's so much power in it. And I always think in a way, okay, even though we're working together now, it's like, one day I want to be just like you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Let's
I
just big up ourselves
Yeah.
right
Sure.
now.
I
Yeah.
definitely
The
take
women around me
inspiration
is so
from
strong.
us and the
Yeah.
other women around us, for sure. We gotta big
Always
up the women
learning,
in our
Big up
own
always
our
pursuits.
growing.
I mean, wow, what an episode talking about hustling, business, freelancing,
Wow.
I'm
getting
ready
our
to hustle the
bag.
shit out of 2021.
Yes.
Honestly,
I'm ready.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
What is one thing that you're looking forward to in terms of getting your coins for this year? It can be short. What's one thing?
That I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to? Really establishing my name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Setting the anchor.
Setting the anchor,
in
like
the
I'm
water.
here and I'm not going nowhere.
I
like that.
Tell them. Say it again for the people in the
I'm
back.
here, not going nowhere.
Nowhere. What about you, Lils?
I'm going into 2021. I think I'm just going to carry over that same like flexible mindset that I had to get used to in 2020, because I know that there are a whole line of things that I'm like, and we are lined up ready to do.
For sure.
We're just waiting for that little to drop.
Yeah.
And we're off. So
Yeah.
I'm like at the gate ready to go, and I'm just ready to dive into new opportunities. But carrying over that lesson of flexibility,
Yeah.
that like we can't control all these other circumstances.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
you, baby.
I mean, I can't wait to pick up the events again.
Yes.
I mean, I've missed it so
All
much.
the ideas we had, like I can't wait to pick it up. But that's what I mean with really establishing
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I
Yeah.
just really
Diving
want
in.
to, I really look forward to growing the company even more, because yeah, we did take a hit in 2020, and we also in that same year celebrated our 10-year anniversary. And I just know that there's so much more to come, and I'm super, super excited about it. Look at me, I'm turning
Yeah.
into a little kid. But most of all, just like to bring it very tangible and very close to home, is that I miss the retreat so much.
miss
I miss
them
the
too.
events so much. I miss our community.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see y'all again
Yeah.
and just be together and, just thrive off of each other's energy. So that's for sure it. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for
Yes.
joining this
Yeah.
very first episode of 2020. And if you made it all the way to the end, did
2021.
you subscribe?
She meant to say 2021. by the
Subscribe.
way.
2021. Oh my gosh. Did you subscribe?
like,
Did you
you
turn on the
subscribe.
You did.
notification
Follow
bell?
us.
We see you.
Please make sure you do. We appreciate your support so much. Thank you for being back with us in 2021. We wish you many blessings for this
Many,
year.
many.
Yes.
Lots of love, and bye-bye.
Peace out.
That's it.
So motherfucking rap. Turn this thing off.